Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dr. Quack podcast here. It's been well over a year since I decided to do one of these, but I got to tell you, it's been an interesting ride over that last year and a half almost. But, I just figured I would do a video today. Something inspired me. Yesterday was election day, which, is a very important thing in life because people actually voted. I've seen a lot of people actually go out and vote. And I was impressed by it. I mean, people are actually voicing their opinions properly, and hopefully we'll get good change out of this. Things will be going towards the better instead of the worse. I voted yesterday, felt pretty happy. Some people are happy with the results already, some people are not. That's a whole nother story. But at least, everybody went out and voted. Thank you to everybody that ever did that. That did that yesterday, excuse me. But, a lot of great things happening. NFL going on. These guys right here. Last year they made it to the Super Bowl, lost to the Eagles. Hey, they made it to the Super Bowl. That's a tough thing to do in its own right. And this year, they could be doing the same. There's a lot of teams going on right now. I mean, you got the Chiefs at number 1. You got the Pats at number 2. The Steelers owning their division because of a tie. Everybody kept telling me, oh, that tie is not going to mean anything. That tie is not going to matter. It is right now. That's why they're winning their division. You got the Texans who are actually looking like a football team. I think they're 6-3 but definitely among the tops there. Picking up Demaryius Thomas, that is definitely interesting to see. That they're going to be a dark horse in this whole thing. I mean, it's going to be a really great playoff picture shaping up here. You've got the Bengals in the 6th seed right now. I don't know if they hold it. I mean, you've got A.J. Green out this week. You're going to be out next week. That's not a great thing to have. The Chargers, too. There you go. Let me give credit to San Diego. Well, yeah, San Diego. Los Angeles Chargers here. Them guys, look at them at the 5th seed, and they've only lost to teams that are really good. They've lost to the Rams. They've lost to the Chiefs. I mean, at Jacksonville. They've done a lot of great things there. And they've beaten the teams they're supposed to beat, and they've been competitive against the other ones. That's another team that's definitely a dark horse here. Should be a great, second half of this season. My fantasy team is hanging in there. I'm sure a lot of you guys, that play fantasy football know what I mean. Like hanging right on the edge where it's like you could face elimination from the playoffs or you could make it. It's all going to depend these next few weeks. But, a lot of things have been going down. Another thing I wanted to talk about here, professional wrestling has changed, and yet it stayed the same, It's cracked me up because the last couple weeks, let's see, we've had WWE Evolution, the all-women's pay-per-view. I actually liked it. For the most part, they had good matches to great matches. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair looked phenomenal. I thought they did an excellent job. I can't remember the blonde from NXT, but yeah, the one that came up and won that match, yeah, that was incredible too. But yeah, I mean, they had that pay-per-view, and you had Crown Jewel over in Saudi Arabia. People were pissed off because that shouldn't have happened. They didn't think they should go over there. Some of them did. Some wrestlers even protested. John Cena and Daniel Bryan refused to go over there. Show went off without a hitch. Honestly, it was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was just god-awful, bowling shoe ugly. I mean, you have Hulk Hogan hosting the pay-per-view. Really? I mean, I'm wondering how much they had to pay for that. I mean, Saudi Arabia, I know they have this thing now where Vince, over the next 10 years, wants to sell the company. The prince over there in Saudi Arabia now has the first right to refusal, which he has already offered $8 billion. $8 billion, not million. B as in money. I like that quote anyway. But yeah, B as in billion. There's a lot of money there. And Vince, hasn't done it yet. He's holding out on it, which, some people think he's good for doing that. Holding it out for a few years, seeing how much money he can make. Seeing what he can do. I think it's going to be interesting because now you got Survivor Series coming up. You're going to have the Raw versus SmackDown brand. You have red versus blue. Sounds like politics, but yeah, it is pretty much. I mean, you've got Brock Lesnar, the guy who hardly ever comes to any shows anymore. Comes about once a month. He's dominant. No, nobody's beating him. They're not putting anybody over him. They didn't even put Braun Strowman over him. They squashed him at Crown Jewel. And they got him taking on AJ Styles. Probably the same thing's going to happen there. I can already feel Braun Strowman's going to beat AJ Styles. They're just not going to let him job to anybody unless they absolutely have to. And it's short term if he does. It's so horrible. Speaking of which, Roman Reigns having leukemia, thoughts and prayers always with that. But without him there, it seems like the WWE creative team does not know what to do with that title. You also got the women's match, Ronda Rousey. Some people feel that she's good for business. Some people feel she sucks. I'm on the other end. I do feel that she is not that great. It's her name that's putting asses in the seats, but she's just not that good. And she's taking on one of the best, female workers, I'd say, in this generation, Becky Lynch. She is totally impressive. It's definitely something worth seeing. That's going to be a great match. I would hope they would put Ronda Rousey, have her job, but I don't think they will there either. Again, UFC guy. They don't want to make their big stars look terrible, even though Becky Lynch really does deserve it. And then you got the 5-on-5 Survivor Series team, which will be pretty cool. Because, of course, you're going to have all sorts of dumb madness in that. You've already got Braun Strowman partnering up with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, which those guys were just a faction here about a month and a half ago. Now they're not. Taking on The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, and Shane McMahon. That's always another funny brand right there because you got The Miz and Daniel Bryan, their whole thing. We don't know who the other two are for SmackDown. I'm betting, for Raw, I'm betting one of them, just like last year, every time. It's going to be Triple H. I mean, seriously, folks. Triple H will probably be involved in this because he can't keep out of it. We already know. Shane McMahon's there. I would expect Triple H to be there. And probably Kurt Angle somehow makes his way on this team. That just would not shock me. It'll be a great pay-per-view. Can't wait to watch it. That's all I got for now. I just felt like making some great things, talking about a lot of stuff here. Wanted to voice my opinion and thank everybody for voting. And if you got any comments, please let me know. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts about any of the topics I talked today. And if you'd like to be a guest on this show, give me a holler. Let me know. I will have you on and we will talk about some crazy madness. Have a good day, folks.